This story is all about how my life got flipped and turned upside down. Fight Me Right Now is a story about when I was younger and the fights that I used to get into and what fighting was like when I was a kid. I'm 40 as of today. So
I'm a man. I'm 40.
fighting was a lot different when I was younger. It's nothing like today and the implications of what this looks like today if you get into fighting, how the schools process it, what it means to kids when kids process fighting these days. It seems like they can't accept losing or leaving it at just fighting. It wasn't like that when I was coming up. It was a little different. It changed over time, and I'll explain that, but it was a little different when I was younger. When I was younger, you could actually have a fight with somebody, lose, and then be okay and live. You might end up fighting this person a number of times. It's possible. There are some people who would not quit, but it stayed at fighting. It didn't extrapolate into you fought me, so now I gotta kill you. It wasn't that serious. It stayed with just the fighting. And for the most part, you might have your friends around and people hyping up a fight and all of these types of things, but you could have like a crowd of people around and you were on a stage, but you could still have a one-on-one fight and then somebody lose or it get to a point where the other person is kind of getting pommeled by the person that they're fighting, and then people jump in and be like, all right, all right, all right, it's over with. All right, it's over with. That was something that could happen. Today, it seems like it changes and it doesn't really end like that. It seems like it has to go to some other level all the time. When I was younger too, a lot of the times when we would fight, if it's on school grounds, there's usually somebody there that can break you up. Or there's going to be some kind of time limit attached to how long that fight is going to go. When we would fight outside of school grounds, those fights would go on and on and on until we got tired. Most of the fights that I was in when I was younger, we just got tired. And then they end up and be like, all right, all right, you finish? You finish? All right, then, all right, you had enough? You had enough? You finished? Most of the time, it wasn't like somebody was just manhandling the other guy and just shoving him into the ground, and then it was all over with like that. It wasn't like no movie stuff. It was very, very ugly, and it was like jogging or something like that. It was a real workout. There's just a lot of implications to how an actual fight will play out in my experience than what you see on TV and what you expect if you haven't been in fights. The people I would mainly get in fights with back then would be my friends. I specifically fought three of my friends over and over: Larquise, Adam, and Andre. I used to fight these guys all the time, and it was goofy. It'd be over the smallest things, but then we out here and now we tussling, and we would fight. Most of the time we would fight. We wouldn't be at school. Actually, all the time that I would fight those guys, every time that I would fight those guys, we were never at school. We were in our neighborhood somewhere. Whether I was at their house, whether we were outside playing like throw them up, bust them up, anything like that. You be something happens, somebody feels slighted. Now we fighting and we rolling around and we punching and all that stuff. But when I was younger, we had a whole bunch of goofy rules too. Like this is a fight. So, I mean, it's your friend, but this is a fight. So we had rules like no punching in the face, no kicking. Kicking is cheating. Listen, man, in a real fight, you do whatever you got to do to win. There's no rules. There's a person that's going to win and there's a person that's going to lose. And depending on what level that fight is, this could be a very, very serious thing. So it ain't no rules to fighting for for real. When you fighting your friends back when I was younger, if you was one of my friends, we had rules: no punching in the face and no kicking. That was cheating. Now, when I was fighting my friends, there was an added cost to fighting some of my friends. Adam and Andre both had brothers, and I'm talking about these guys. Back then, when I was a kid, these guys could have been the Incredible Hulk. They were bigger and they were much stronger than us. We're little kids. Like this is I'm most of my fighting is done from kindergarten all the way up to sixth grade. This is when I'm fighting the most. I'm getting suspended, all that stuff, and I'm explaining the suspension and all that stuff. But and what kind of kid I was and all that. But these fights, some of these things would come at a cost. And I mean, Adam's big brother was David, and David, he hit me in the chest one time. I'm talking about he hit me so hard, like I saw my whole little young life flash before my eyes. I had rethought all the fighting. I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't be fighting. God, oh, like this might not be worth the cost of everything that it. I mean, I did all right in the fight, but God, this man hit me with the power of God and all the saints. I'm like, whoo. Like, and the same thing with Andre. He had a big brother named Terrence, and Terrence come through. Man, he catch us out there fighting. He gotta protect his brother. I understand it now. Back then, I was like, yeah, come on, man. Like it's just me and him fighting. I'm not gonna kill the man. I'm just defending myself, and I gotta try to put him in his place. And so his brother, I was working his brother out one time. I was getting down, getting down. His brother came out. He yoked me up and then hit me, boy. Oh, getting hit by somebody a lot older than you and a lot stronger than you was that thing would make you sit down and contemplate. That'll make you get quiet for a second and be like, maybe the path of life that I'm taking is not the right one. Man, I gotta reevaluate my life. I gotta reevaluate everything that I've been doing. I could have been doing something productive right now. I sure could have. Yep. But I'm out here in the streets fighting. Look at me. Look at me. That thing will make you reprimand yourself, boy. Whew. Okay, so Larquise didn't have a big brother. When we would fight, we would get in fights a lot of. This is one of my closest childhood friends. We would get in a lot of fights. The thing is, we liked a lot of rough activities. We played throw 'em up, bust 'em up. So if you don't know what that is, that's when you take a football and you throw it up in the air. It's a pile of little boys. You throw the ball up in the air, and then whoever catch it is the target, and everybody in the group is chasing that kid, and they're going to tackle him and drive him into the ground. Larquise was fast, and he was an athletic young kid, so he was usually pretty good, and he was a tough guy too. He was strong and all that stuff, so it was hard to hurt him. But I was always a bigger kid. Me and Larquise was good friends and stuff. So if you get hurt by your friend a certain way, you're gonna take that a little bit more personal. And I know one of these days he caught that thing and I took off and I got him. And the thing is, since he was so fast, you wanted to get on Larquise real quick because if he got away from you, it was a wrap. He was gonna run that thing down and you weren't gonna catch him. Man, I got that boy. I threw him into the ground and shoved him to make him slid across. We slid across the grass for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Came back with streaks and everything. I'm up there, like I'm giving it to him. That thing turned into a fight. And there was another time, since we were so close, you always getting into it. It's like the neighborhood for kids that were my friends, we was kind of like brothers. We was that close. We see each other all the time. So you get on each other's nerves. Larquise, we went to there was this church nearby, and we went to the church together. I don't know, I don't even remember why we got in a fight, but something happened and we bust out the church doors chasing after each other. And there was these buses out to the left of the church. And again, like I told you, he was fast. He ran up on me, socked me in the head, and then took off. And I mean, he hit me square in the head. I'm talking about a lump just came up on my head like I was a cone head or something like this. You're gonna have to look that up. That's a movie. Some of y'all ain't gonna have that reference. Hellboy. Some of y'all might seen Hellboy. Them little stumps that he had in his head. I had a little stump right up in here. Man, I try to chase that fool down. I'm sitting there chasing him, looking goofy, crying, and I can't catch him. Oh, it was the worst. And then the people at the church gonna come and hold me back. Like I'm the aggressor. I'm the retaliator at this point. But that's the kind of thing, man. We get in that, and then the next day we friends still. Man, I made up with my friends so many times back then. I was so resilient. I don't have a lick of that resilience these days, boy. But God, dog, we was resilient. Get in a fight, be friends tomorrow. Hey, man, you wanna come outside? Can you come outside? Oh, they come over your house. Excuse me, can he come outside to play? Man, oh, but those was the days though, and that's what fighting was like. With me and Adam, we'll get in fights over the video game. So we be playing whatever video game at the time. I don't know which one it was. In my life I lived through regular Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Sega, Sega Dreamcast. I think they had Sega CD out. Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation and all the stuff that came after that. So this was stuff that was in the core of my childhood. I don't remember which system we was playing on, but I know that we would play on fighting games. And Adam was nice. His mom used to get him all the video games, and he always had all the premium stuff. They had a new house. They had a fly Monte Carlo. They was doing all right. So I go over Adam house and play video games all the time, and we get in fights over video games. I know one time we got in a fight. We both got super hot. We went outside onto his front lawn, and we're out there fighting. And I mean, we're going at it. We throwing punches in the face. All the friendship rules is out. We fighting, we punching in the face. We doing whatever it takes. We ain't throwing bricks or nothing like that, but we fighting for real. I get Adam pinned down, and I'm pummeling him. I'm bomb, throwing just haymakers on him. And then at a certain point, I think his mama came out and stopped us. And then I just got up on my bike. I was looking at him crazy, and then I rode my bike all the way home. The next day, like I told you, Adam had a brother, David. Man, I got on the bus to ride home. David found me on which bus I was riding. That man came up on the bus and came up and hit me in the chest. Oh my God. Whew. That stuff hit me so. Oh, after I ain't have another fight with Adam. I was like, yo, if the cost of fighting Adam is that I gotta get hit by David and potentially have to fight David, bruh, it ain't even worth it. So me and Adam ain't never fight no more. But you see what I'm saying, though? It stayed at just a fight. It stayed at just a fight. Then nobody had to get killed. Then nobody had to get no gun pulled on them. It wasn't nothing like that. It always stayed as a fight. And you could have a situation where maybe you had a fight with somebody and y'all wasn't friends no more or something like that. But my situations weren't like that. All my friends that I had fights with, we was always friends afterwards. A memorable fight that I had with Andre. I don't even. These fights are so stupid at this point in my life because a lot of them I don't even remember why we were fighting. It wasn't nothing important. It wasn't nothing important to be fighting over, but we done got mad, and now we got to fight. That's what we done decided. Man, there was this time that I was fighting Andre. We outside his house, past the driveway between his house and the place next door. It's like a little townhouse, and it was brick. Had a big old brick wall. And we out there, and I mean, ain't nobody watching us. Ain't we unsupervised, so we can fight for as long as we want to fight. And I mean, we going at it. Me and Andre used to talk wild to each other. Like we was some fast ass little kids, and we was just out there, little hood babies, and we was like, we would talk crazy, then we would get into it. But this day, we out here fighting, and I mean, we going at it. We done got locked up now, throwing each other up against the brick wall. One of us got the upper hand, throw you up against the brick wall. Now we punching you, giving you body shots, and just working out. Then the other one finally catch you, swing you around, throw you against the brick wall. Now the tables done turn. Man, we was out there fighting. I know it had to be something short. It was probably like 5 minutes worth of fighting, but it felt like we was out there for a smooth 15, 20 minutes just going round for round. Man, I swear for goodness, that was one of them fights. You finish, you end up, you got your hands on your knee talking about looking at the other one like, is he as tired as me? Cause I ain't got no more left. I need this fight to end because I can't even throw a punch no more. Your hands feel so heavy. Your hands feel so heavy, and your body, when you actually fight, your body gets consumed with adrenaline, and it takes you over. So during the fight, you can withstand a whole lot of pain, punches to the face and the throat, and all kinds of things. Like you can deal with a whole lot of damage. Oh, but you gotta recover. Oh, but you gotta recover. So we sitting here up in this fight, and we huffing and puffing, talking about you good? You good? I'm good if you good. I'm good if you good. Well, all right then. We good then. What will happen? I guess you kind of get a respect for each other to a certain degree because you like, man, you couldn't knock me out and I couldn't knock you out. Like, shoot, I don't know what's gonna happen from here, but we made it all the way through. You know, you got your certain level of bravado has to still stay. You have to still hold that. You don't have to, but it felt like you had to.